If you're always stretching just to feel loose and mobile, but it just doesn't seem to last, it's your nervous system that might be the real reason. You know the feeling, you stretch and you feel loose and mobile and free to move, but then you wake up the next morning and you feel just as tight again. Today, I'm going to show you 3 nervous system tools that outperform stretching, because it's the nervous system that runs the show. And it's this system, when it's not working optimally, that increases tension in the body. Hi, I'm Adam, and for the last 20 years, I've been helping people with pain and mobility issues by understanding their nervous system. Let's look at tool number 1. So before we look at the first tool, let's have a quick self-assess. Now, think about areas that always feel tight for you. It might be trunk rotation, it might be a forward bend that feels particularly restricted, it might be neck tension. I'm going to pick rotation and trunk rotation for me, because yesterday I noticed it felt particularly restricted. So I'm going to just make an assessment of how far left and right I can go, and then we're going to go through these tools and we'll reassess at the end. So tool number 1, we're going to use some of the ocular reflexes. So we're going to use tracking with the eyeballs as the first thing. So to do this, we're going to keep the head still and we're going to look up with the eyes. We're going to breathe out fully as we look up. You may get a sense of stretching of the musculature that lives underneath the eyeball here, and that's fine. Having that internal focus is a good thing here. So breathing out, looking up, relax. You can relax the breath. We're going to do 3 repetitions of that. So ready to breathe out again, looking up, and again we'd repeat that 3 times. We can do the same going down, going left, and going right. Make sure the head doesn't move, and we go as far as we can with the eyeball moving. So don't sort of go halfway, sort of lazily look up or down. Really try and push your limits a little bit. Once you've done 3 repetitions in all 4 quadrants there, we're going to do a big breath in with the same movements. Okay, so now we're more focused on the musculature that's pulling the eyeball up. So the shortening muscle, as opposed to the lengthening tissues that we were more focused on when we were breathing out. So big breath in, look up. Again, try and focus on what you can feel above the eyeball here when we're going up, or underneath the eyeball as we're coming down to the left side here as we look left, and vice versa. So 3 repetitions in each position. Let the breath go. So in, breath in again, repeat that 3 times. So just relax in between each rep, because it's the relaxation that helps something called potentiation occur. So we're getting an increase in drive to that area when we relax in between. All right. So that's the first thing we're going to do. It's eye tracking, getting the muscles that control the eye to work a little bit better. All right, there's a very close relationship with those eye muscles and the muscles generally in the body. Think about it. If we're not moving the eyes well and we can't see very well, not necessarily with the sight element of the eyeball, but using the eyes, it makes sense that the nervous system is going to increase its tension, because it can't see the environment as well as it should be able to. So the next tool within the ocular toolkit, if you like, is going to be hand-eye coordination. So for this, we're going to keep the head still again. You're going to use your thumb, and we're going to pick the creases on the back of the thumb. You can do this with a pen or anything like that as well. So the head stays still, and we're going to take the hand out to the side, and you stop at the point where you lose focused range on the creases on the back of your thumb. So you don't go into your peripheral vision or where it starts to get blurry. You just stop at that point. Okay. Each rep, hopefully you can slightly nudge your range of motion on a little bit. Okay. So we're going to do 3 reps again, like we did before. And like I said last time, we're resting in between each repetition, just to give the body chance to increase the drive to this area. So That's about my limit there. And I would repeat 3 reps right, 3 reps left. And then I would also encourage 45 degrees up. Like so, 3 reps, 3 reps, 45 degrees down as well for 3 reps. So tool number 2 is the vestibular system, or the inner ear. There are 3 canals that make up the inner ear, and they're giving you information about where you are relative to the space around you, helping you understand things like balance. Okay, so when these systems are picking up information that are not quite optimal, it can increase tension in the body globally as a protective mechanism. So we're going to look at those 3 systems now, those 3 canals now. Okay, so close the eyes and breathe out. And we're going to rotate the head all the way around to one side, back to the center. For this, you can hold the breath if it's comfortable for you to do so. Just pausing in the middle each time. 3 repetitions round to one side. Take a breath in, then breathe out again. 3 repetitions round to the other side. That's the horizontal canal. Then we've got another canal, the anterior canal, for which we're going to have a sort of a diagonal movement with the head. So I'll pick the left side, and we're going to think about bringing the cheekbone down to the collarbone like so. So again, both eyes closed, breathing out, and down like so, and back again. And we'll repeat that 3 times. Okay, and then we do the right side, and we move on to the posterior canal. So similar, sort of pick the back quarter of your skull and think about taking that towards the shoulder blade. Okay, so we go like so, and repeat that 3 times in that plane, and then again doing the opposite side, taking a breath in between. So the next thing you can do, sort of underneath the second tool, if you like, of the system we're working with here, is the vestibular ocular reflex. That's kind of tying the first 2 tools together using the vestibular system and the eyes. So we're going to use the hand out in front. Now we're going to move the hand and the head simultaneously. So for that, we're going to look at the creases on the back of the thumb again, and we're going to move the head in one direction and the hand away in one plane. So if we just pick this horizontal plane here for a second, so the head's moving to the left, thumb is moving to the right, and we can do 3 repetitions like that, and then repeat the same thing on the other side. Make sure that you stay within your focused range, like I said before, so don't go into your peripheral. That would be a different drill. You can do that in this horizontal plane here. We can come up 45 degrees, which is particularly good. We can come straight up as well, 45 degrees down and straight down. All of those are great things to work on with the nervous system. Okay, the third tool, arguably might be the most important, is respiration, breathing. Okay, so we're going to go through a few different techniques now to optimize some of the breathing musculature. Okay, the first one we're going to cover is inhale muscles, so the muscles that help you with breathing in. So we're going to work on diaphragm and some other more obscure muscles to do this. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to drop down into flexion. We're going to side bend off to one side and tip the body across to the right. Here we're going to breathe in, and you can think about pushing your belly out as we do this. So really breathe in and relax. We can do that 3 times in that position. Staying in this plane, just tip yourself over now to the left and staying flexed, breathing in, pushing the belly out, and again 3 repetitions like so. Go back to the beginning, flex, rotate round to the left, side bend left, breathing in, pushing the belly out, 3 reps like that. And then you guessed it, we're going to tip to the right and do 3 reps in that position there. So that's covering the diaphragm off. Some inhale muscles for the upper back. We're going to hinge now. So hinge like that, pick the chest up, and then we're going to rotate off to the left and we're going to tip to the right. Now I want you to pull the belly button in and breathe up into the chest as much as you can. And relax. And then you can repeat 3 repetitions there before going into a slightly different position where we still extend, but we just side bend straight off to one side. So up and side bend over, belly button in, big breath up into the chest. After each one, we can relax and see if we can side bend a little more. And then staying in that position, rotating to the right, side bend right, and we're going to belly button in, breathe into the chest for 3 repetitions again, making sure obviously we'll repeat the same process over on the left-hand side. So those were the inhale muscles. Now we're going to work on some exhaling. Now with the exhaling, we need to use quite a forceful breath out. So we're going to flex down and we're going to rotate to the left and we're going to side bend right. There, I want you to imagine that there's a birthday cake out in front of you, about 1 meter out. I want you to see if you can blow all of those candles out in one go. So breath in, moderate level breath in, not a massive breath in, and then quite a forceful breath out again. Again, 3 repetitions in between each breath. Does a little bit of range open up. Staying in flexion, come over to the side. That birthday cake's now in front of you here. We're going to do the same thing. 3 reps there, and then staying in flexion but rotating right and breathing out over here. Okay, so it's flex, rotate right, side bend right, breathe out there. Okay, and then we can do exactly the same with our left-hand side. So flex, rotate right, side bend left, 3 reps there, 3 reps here, and then 3 reps here. Okay, and that's most of the muscles that will be involved in exhaling, a lot of the intercostal muscles. Right, so just let's have a reassess. Let's go back to the area that you felt that was restricted before. How is that feeling? Have you got slightly more range there? For me, I picked my trunk rotation, so let's have a look. Let's see how that feels. And actually quite significant ease of range round to that left. Yeah. And to the right. I mean, obviously you're going to have to believe me, but that is genuine. That feels very nice and loose and open there. I hope you enjoyed that, but more importantly, I hope you can feel the difference in how your body feels now and how it's moving in those before and after tests. Now, you've given your system a reboot, but it might still feel like something is holding you back from feeling your best. And that's where I come in. I help people rebuild a body they can trust, especially when it feels like something's letting them down. Have a look in the description at the link and book a time to chat, and we can discuss what's going on and how I might be able to help. Thanks for watching and see you next time.